Yes, sir. We here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We got a lot to talk about. Man. We got Anthony Joshua. We got Tyson Fury. Major fight. We've been waiting a long time for this fight right here. We've been really waiting a long time for this fight. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring in the experts. You know what I mean? We're gonna come out with predictions. I want to hear what you guys' predictions are. I want to know what you guys think. So we're gonna let some of you guys come on here and chop it up with us. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring in Eddie Chambers. We're gonna bring in my man Moonshine. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have to talk about this, man. It's a serious fight. And then now there's like a little bit of a monkey wrench thrown in there. So, I don't know how many of you guys know the details of what's going on, but, first 1 second, the contract signed, and now they're talking about the fight might be off. And there's just a lot going on, man. I'm real excited to talk about this tonight. But before we do that, we got to talk about some of the stuff that we got going on, man. You know that I got the courses. The courses right now are on fire. Everybody's loving it. I'm getting so much feedback, man. We got the How to Box at Southpaw. All the other courses have been updated. And, of course, I got the CA Boxing 50. All you got to do is go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Check out those courses. You know what I mean? If you guys haven't checked it out and you guys want to learn the sweet science from your house, you already know, man. We're not bullshitting you. We're giving you real boxing, real stuff. But I'm not going to waste too much time, wasting my time talking about that. We're going to talk about what we came to talk about. So let's go ahead and bring in the one and only Fast Eddie Chambers, man. What's going on, Eddie?
Not much, man. Just doing doing the same thing I always do, working.
Hey, man, that's all we do is work, man. This fight right here is going to be crazy, man, because I know you got a lot you're going to want to talk about in this fight, because this fight, you're real close to Tyson Fury. We all know that. We all know that the Furies took you in. Was basically like family to you. So we know you biased. So that's why I had to bring on somebody else. Because I know you biased. I know you're going to be like, man, Fury going to kick his ass, man.
I'm going to tell the truth, though. I will tell the truth one way or the other. Like,
right,
I'll tell the truth. I'm not going to just,
hold on. Let me put this real quick, though. CA Boxing 50 to save 50% to all my people that don't know what the hell that CA Boxing stands for. On all courses, as you can see, I'm special ed. You know what I mean? www.coachanthony. I don't even know how to spell my name. Boxing.com. Okay, let me go ahead and put that in the chat. Put that right there. Yeah, man. So I'm real excited. Man. Before we get into it, man, let me bring my man in, the one and only Mr. Moonshine. The one and only Mr. Moonshine. I had to bring you in, Moonshine, because I know for a fact that you're going to know the details that me and Eddie don't know. Eddie and we're boxing fundamentalists. When it comes to the science of the game, I've put in many, many years trying to perfect my craft. And I know Eddie, obviously, his track record's proven, you know what I'm saying, on what he's done. And but when it comes to, like, what's going on, I'm still kind of, like, off. Like, I don't be knowing, like, exactly what's going on. Like, sometimes I think I know, but I know that you know. I know that you're really in the mix. I know that you're really paying attention to everything that's going on. So Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are signed. I'm posting it on my Instagram. I'm all hype about it. Oh man, what's going on here? Bootleg right now. All right, I'm all excited about it. I'm posting it on my Instagram, and the next thing I know, Deontay Wilder's throwing a monkey wrench in there, and people are saying that the fight is possibly canceled. Can you update me and maybe update the people what's going on? Can't hear you.
My fault, guys. I think when it comes to the arbitration with Deontay Wilder, that was like the elephant in the room. That's something that we wanted, that most of boxing fans wanted to ignore, because we wanted the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. I mean, that's probably the most prestige crown of all of sports. But Deontay Wilder been going through arbitration, trying to get the they signed the contract. It was a rematch clause in the contract with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. The pandemic hit, coronavirus and things of that nature. It pushed back in which where the expiration date, they passed the expiration date in which they could have that rematch. Um, but he went through arbitration. He still feels like he deserved that rematch. They signed it, and I think that they was trying to fight the Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Well, not really Anthony Joshua. They on the standby. But Tyson Fury and his team was trying to fight in court to get to move on from the Deontay Wilder situation, while Deontay Wilder was not trying to move on from his own situation. So a judge today granted a win for Deontay Wilder in terms that he deserves, that they granted him that Tyson Fury will have to rematch him for the trilogy. So
what does that mean? Like, I'm still confused, because like the contract is signed.
Yeah.
And now y'all telling me that Deontay Wilder has won his dispute. So where do we go from here?
Now, those I think there's a lot of scenarios. Well, not several scenarios that could happen, right? People talk about, is the WBC going to franchise Tyson Fury? Is Tyson Fury going to sit back and do what Flo Mayweather did after the Oscar de la Hoya? They had a rematch clause. Oscar de la Hoya retired and then avoided the rematch. He came back, right? He's going to drop his belts, right? I mean, they still building a stadium in Saudi Arabia. That's the thing. They haven't stopped building a stadium in Saudi Arabia. They say it's signed. What else? It's still on BoxRec, like it's still gonna go on. I have a feeling that whatever was announced today, they knew something about it a couple of days ago. I mean, nobody came out and said anything. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, Deontay Wilder himself, Tyson Fury haven't said nothing today about it. And that's what I think has a lot of people in a limbo right now.
Now, is there still that opportunity to give some, I mean, obviously not if he's fighting for it, but like some kind of a step aside money? I'm not sure how that works, but like
that's the other thing they talking about. Step aside money. But how much
this is a big money fight. Like, I can't see this getting canceled.
I can't see it getting canceled either. 75 million a piece.
Listen. Yeah, let me tell you right now what this is about. Deontay's, I want my rematch. I want the clause was in there. He want that step aside bread, and I ain't mad at him for it. Do what you got to do. But he's like, I want that shot. You don't want that shot that much. You know what happened in that fight. You felt it. You know what the situation is. You still probably believe you have a chance, but we don't. I know I don't.
Now hold up, Eddie. Hold up. Hold up. My man Malik Scott's been working with Tyson.
Oh, you know what?
And I talked to Malik Scott. I'm trying to get him on the show. Hopefully, I get Malik Scott on here. He said he would once he knows what's going on. But what's up? Like, you don't think Malik Scott could give him some of that flavor that we give?
All I'm saying is I'm gonna say this about boxing and sports in general. When you get into a tough situation, what are you gonna do? You're gonna revert back to what you do and what you're comfortable doing. He's starting to do good things. I'm not saying he's not. I've seen a couple of things. He still looks amateurish a little bit, and I'm not hating on him. His thing has always been, I'm gonna knock you out eventually. So that's how he fought. But when you're in there fighting a guy who's been doing this his whole life, and he's your size, and he has the ability to do what's necessary to beat you in every facet, I mean, I don't really see how you can come back from that and change who you are in one fight, in one camp. It's very, very difficult to do that. He can add some stuff to it, but once it comes down to it, he's going to be Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder for years has really not really done anything different in his game. He's never really added anything or took anything away. He's just gotten progressively better with, figuring out how to hit you with that right hand as the fight goes on. but it's like he's been famously losing the entire fight with everyone he's been in the ring with, and then eventually catching him. But when he got in there with Tyson, that wasn't to be. He's in there with a guy who actually is going to be able to
even though he arguably knocked out Tyson Fury. Like, if that fight would have got called off as soon as his head went boom,
well, yeah, that could have happened. That absolutely could have.
Would be debating right now. We would have been like, he knocked him out.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead. No. Hold on, Eddie. Hold on.
Hold
on. I gotta be the devil's advocate here.
Oh, I know.
What I'm saying is, as soon as his head went boom, if the referee would have went, it's over, would you have complained that was a premature stoppage? Keep it a buck.
I don't know if I would have complained, but the fact that he counted, that it made me feel better because it was like, let's see if he gets up. You know what I'm saying? But he could have. I mean, honestly,
the same way I felt like he got a gift with a pause, King Kong. What's his name again?
Luis Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz. I felt like he got a gift in that situation in their first fight, where I felt that it was like that 8th or 9th round extra seconds, that little commotion. I forgot the exact details, but I remember saying, "Yo, they're giving Wilder an opportunity to recover here." Remember that situation?
Yeah.
And it was kind of similar with Tyson Fury. Don't get me wrong, he legitimately got up.
He did. But they could have counted him out.
I've seen fights get stopped for less, is all I'm saying.
100%. I agree with you 100%.
So to bring this into what's actually the fight at hand, and I want to get both of your opinion on this. We seen Steve Cunningham lay Fury on his ass. Mm-hmm. We seen Deontay Wilder put Fury on his ass twice in one fight. Mm-hmm. What happens when Anthony Joshua lands a right hand? Because he's gonna land. They're damn near the same height. He's like 3 inches shorter. He's gonna land, right? You can't fight a whole boxing match unless you get knocked out in the first fight without landing some shit eventually.
Right, of course.
How's this thing gonna hold up to Anthony Joshua landing some good punches? We saw Anthony Joshua be effective against Klitschko. We saw Anthony Joshua come back and beat, his last guy who just beat him down. I'm getting bad with it.
Right.
Huh?
Ruiz.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens there? What happens? What's your opinion?
Well, in that kind of a situation,
moonshine.
Well, for me, I think Tyson wins a boxing match. So for him landing a shot, I mean, that's boxing. Everybody gets hit. You know what I mean? Can Tyson take his shot? I feel like he can deal with it. I feel like if he took Deontay's shot, he could take his too.
So you think Deontay's a bigger puncher than Anthony Joshua?
I think with the right hand, his one punch power, Deontay Wilder's probably a little bit bigger puncher than Anthony Joshua. But Anthony Joshua has a better sustained attack. Like his combination punching is better. He's a better boxer. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like saying he's a better boxer at range necessarily or anything like that. He's just a better technical fighter in general than Deontay Wilder is. But I think Deontay Wilder is a much, much more dangerous puncher with the one punch. You know what I'm saying? But is he going to win a boxing match? In my opinion, and this is not any bias to Tyson or anything like that, just because I know him and that's my man. None of that. I think it just doesn't. I don't see him winning a boxing match with Tyson at all, not even close.
So I think. What's your thoughts, Moonshine?
I think Anthony Joshua is an underrated in adjusting. I think he's underrated with footwork as well. If you see the Povetkin fight, you saw how he attacked the body with straight jabs to the body, and then with the over right, he had that combination going. He made an adjustment even with Kubra Pulev. You saw him work from the outside. Then he was trying to just connect on the uppercut. I think I seen Anthony Joshua. His attack, I agree with Eddie. His attack is more than Deontay Wilder. It's like Deontay Wilder is pace and cut. What Tyson Fury was doing to Deontay Wilder, just making him reset, feigning him to death. He was just feigning him all day. And Anthony Joshua, you saw even in the Ruiz, even in the second fight, where you saw it was about to get, they were about to scrap. And then he took a right hand and then he said, nah, you know what? Let me outbox him. You know what I'm saying? So he made timely adjustments within the fight. And I think he's underrated in that. I think he's underrated with his footwork a little bit. I think the people that fight, I think the fighters that fight Anthony Joshua, they abandon going to the body. Starting their attack in the body. In the first fight with Deontay Wilder, he abandoned the body. He was just going head hunting, missing a lot of shots. He should have just, work his way in the to the body and then try to connect, to the head. I
Yeah.
think Anthony. I think Anthony Joshua got varieties of weapons where he could use on the inside. I don't think Tyson Fury is gonna push Anthony Joshua around like he did Deontay Wilder. So I think it's gonna be. I think his attack mode might be he might try to outbox him, but I think it's gonna be a good matchup.
Well, that was going to be my point, because I noticed that Anthony Joshua looks his best when he boxes from the outside. Now, he's going to be boxing a guy who's taller, a guy who's longer. How is he going to get inside of a guy like Tyson Fury, a guy who knows how to use his distance when he wants to, a guy who's defensively sound, a guy who's mentally obviously proven that he'll get up and fight through the fire? What's your thoughts on that, Eddie? Does Tyson Fury play the outside game with Joshua since he's actually the taller guy, or is Tyson Fury just gonna muscle him around, thug him out, or outslick him? Like, what's your thoughts? Being a guy who sparred, probably 50 to 100 rounds of Tyson Fury, what's your thoughts? More than that?
Way more than that.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, so then what's your thoughts on how he's going to approach that fight?
Well, I think it's going to be similar to what the Klitschko fight was, with how he's really going to frustrate him. He's going to give him a lot of different looks, a lot of feints. I don't want to try to make the fight not seem interesting. It's a huge fight, but I feel like what's going to end up happening is it's going to be what most people want to call a sleeper, because he's going to have Anthony Joshua a little gun shy in some ways, because he's not going to be as confident about attacking, because he's going to be getting hit with shots that may not hurt him, but it's going to get his attention. And he's not going to be comfortable with the range, and it's going to be a different world. It's like the first time I got in there with Tyson, I expected it to be like, he's just another one of these big dudes that can't do this and that, can't move, can't throw shots, they're not fast. They don't really have, he's going to be a big mummy. And I got in there and was completely surprised. Not only was he not a mummy, but he had boxing skills and he had.
Hold on, Eddie. To Anthony Joshua's defense, we got more data on Fury now. When you got in the ring with Fury, it was kind of like you seen him fight, but you didn't know how good he was.
Right.
We know how good Tyson Fury is now. So can you prepare for something like that?
You can try. You can always try. But it was like preparing for Vladimir, right? Like, there was the guys that can mimic Vladimir real good in the gym and all that. And when you get in front of him, it's totally different. Like, you can prepare for it in your mind. You think you're prepared, but you're going to have to make some form of an adjustment. Because let me tell you something. With Tyson, is one of the hardest hardest person to spar that I've ever been in a ring. The hardest. There was like Vladimir at one point was the guy. And it was because it was so difficult to get inside. He was doing a lot of crazy stuff when he was scoring. And then obviously when I fought him. But when I got in there with Tyson, it was like, this dude is hitting me from the other corner. And then I'm getting to him. And he's like, then he's not there. And he's literally moving. And he's moving around. He's throwing all these weird feints and this herky-jerky crap that looks weird. But it's coming. And the shots are coming in combination. Multiple punches. It's one thing when it's one punch or two punches, then you can kind of figure it out. When you're throwing threes and fours and they coming from way back there and you got to try to cover ground and all you're doing is just getting closer into range and you start throwing right uppercuts and left hooks, you got to make adjustments, man. And I agree with what you said, which he's been good at adjusting. But can he adjust to that kind of stuff? And the dude going to be switching back and forth, hitting from this angle or not odd angle. He's a really difficult puzzle to solve for anybody, anywhere, at any point in any time. In boxing, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think the only issue I used to have with Tyson Fury is that he fights to the level of his competition for the most part until he adjusts and then he gets him later on. Yeah. In the beginning, he would struggle. I don't know if it was the way. I don't know how he prepared. But I used to say, damn, he fights at the level of his competition. Then he get Klitschko, and then he get Deontay Wilder, and then he shows up big. So it's hard to simulate. To simulate a Tyson Fury, like where's the sparring partner? So I think a guy that beats Tyson Fury, they gotta have timely adjustment in the ring. They got their IQ got to be up to par. And I think that's why he looks beatable but unbeatable at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my question with Tyson Fury is his chin. That's really my only concern because we know he can get hit. We know he can get sent to the canvas.
Yeah. And a lot of times that
my only reason of saying that Anthony Joshua isn't completely out of this fight, because if I have to put my money on it, I'm gonna put my money with Fury, only based off the data. But what I'm gonna say is he can get to Tyson's chin, and Tyson has a thing of keeping his lead hand low. He gets a little lackadaisical. He tries to do all this defensive shit, and what happens is he slips here and there. And it only takes 1 second in boxing, and you know that. It only takes one fucking mistake. And Anthony Joshua has fought at basically the same level as Tyson Fury, so to speak. I mean, besides the Deontay Wilder fight, I mean, he fought Klitschko, and I mean, he's fought all the top guys basically, except for Fury. So my thing is, he knows how to perform at that level. Do you think that Tyson Fury will stop Anthony Joshua? Because everybody's talking about Fury outboxing him, and possibly if Joshua wins, it'll be like a stoppage. But will Tyson Fury stop Anthony Joshua?
He could.
Do you think he'll go for the stoppage?
I think if he sees the opportunity for it, he would. But he's just, I think any smart boxer, and obviously he's got a great IQ boxing. The only problem with Tyson sometimes is he has too much heart, and he want to show how big his balls is, pause, compared to the other guy. That's why I said pause. You heard me say pause. But
hey, yo,
you got to pull that thing back. But no, seriously, it's like, and that's always my biggest issue with him. Like there was fights that I was commentating, I was watching. I'm like, dude, man, just you could be winning this fight without even taking a punch. And it's like, I don't want to see him in there at that level. When I was watching him fighting Deontay, even in the second fight when he was really like just dominating him and doing what he wanted, you still get that thought like, yo, man, pump your brakes, man. Step back a little bit. Smack him around. Just wait till he's completely dead, then knock him out. That's my thing. Like, you got to be smart, because all it takes is one time. They catch you, they knock you off. They get the people they hate, they get them out of there. You ain't never going to see them. You understand what I'm saying? And Anthony Joshua's, I can't say All-American because he's from the UK, but he's like that dude. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to see him. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be him. So over there, he's a huge star. So they don't like traveling men like Tyson. You know what I mean? They're hating on him, even though you gotta love him because he's dominating and he got a great personality. But they don't really like them. So if they can get him out of there, they're gonna try to. So Tyson, in my opinion, if I was him, which I think I would love to be able to tell him, like, yo, just box his head off. Just win every round, going away. You know what I mean? Don't give him an opportunity to. His only opportunity would be to catch you or to hurt you at some point in the fight. Don't give him that. Just beat him. Beat him.
Now, Eddie, man, remember when Tyson Anthony Joshua slid in your DM and had a few things to say to you. You know what I'm saying? Well, we don't know if it was him, but it was very weird that it was coming from his actual account. He says some stuff. Like, how do you feel when you see like a guy like Anthony Joshua up there? Do you say to yourself, like, man, I'll fuck Anthony Joshua up, man. Like, let me get a crack at that motherfucker. Like, and then he's fighting your boy. Like, he's fighting your boy. Like, you know, Tyson Fury's your people. So it's like, I know part of you is already going to lean towards your man because you're biased. Another part of you is going to go with sense, because it's not a dumb thing to think Tyson would win. I mean, if you get Fury, it's a legitimate choice. But does part of you just want Tyson to fuck him up because of some of the shit that he said and some of the shit you got? And since you ain't getting these opportunities, are you like, yeah, fuck him up for me? You know what I'm saying? Is that how you feel? Like, let me know.
I mean, there's a little bit of that, but not really. I mean, honestly, man, that emotional thing for me, you know how I am with this whole thing, man. This is a business, and you know what I mean? There's some fun with it. You when you're in the ring, you can beat up on guys. It's fun, but yo, this is a business at the end of the day. That shit didn't even move me. Honestly, it didn't make me say, man, I want to fuck that nigga up, man. No, I don't care about none of that. He can say whatever he wants, because at the end of the day, I know all it was about was that business. All he's trying to do is see if he can get a voluntary matchup, see if there was a possibility that, you know, there was enough interest in the fight with me to get him a quick, little, easy, what he thought would have been an easy matchup. You know what I mean? And a guy with a name. So it was like, maybe we get Eddie Chambers over here. There wasn't enough interest. So he just probably let it go. But I just want to see Tyson whoop his ass just because I want to see Tyson win. And because I know he's better. I don't want to see. I don't care if I'm a fan of the guy. It's like I was a big Mosley fan. I still am. And when him and Floyd Mayweather fought, it was like, damn, I want Shane to win, but whoever's the better fighter need to win that fight. So when Floyd came out as the winner, even though he almost got knocked out in the process, I mean, for him, I was happy that he won. So in this situation, it's the same thing. I just happen to be a supporter of Tyson Fury because that's my man. But at the same time, he's the better fighter, and he should win. Now, fights aren't fought on paper, and people who fought other guys in the past, that has nothing to do when you step in the ring with the guy that's in front of you. So that's why I'm saying for Anthony Joshua, it's going to be a rough fight because he's never seen anybody that fights like that with that kind of size. It's going to be a really, really difficult matchup.
Mr. Musa, why are they fighting over in Saudi Arabia?
Get that money, man.
Yes, sir.
Money. The money, man. It's the money. They don't care about fighting at home.
Why is the money
Ali and Foreman ain't fight here.
Why is the money there, not in the UK?
I don't know. It could be. I think it could be here in Texas too. I think they just found a place where.
Don't you think, like, you know, the United Kingdom, two guys that are basically coming from that area, that neck of the woods, would kill it over there in the O2 Arena?
Man, it's all about who's giving you the most money, right? It's the prize game.
And I know that Saudi Arabian money is crazy. So, more and more guys are going to fight over there. Yep.
I think when you was asking the question about let's say not the question, but you were saying something about, you know, they both got that Tyson Fury, you know, he could take a hit and stuff like that. I think they both could get her from the canvas. They showed that. So I mean, Anthony Joshua, he lost, but he lost on his feet. Even Deontay Wilder lost on his feet. Tyson Fury has proved that he gets back up when he's in the canvas. So the heart is not questioned. I think with these fellas, the heart, the grit is there. I mean, I probably got to kill him or the referee got to stop the fight for them. So that's one thing. You know, Tyson Fury could get the best of Anthony Joshua, but he ain't gonna lay down.
Yes, I agree with that. They both shown heart. You know, that's what a lot of times you see. A lot of times with heavyweights, you know, I don't want to say they don't show heart, but you know, getting up is a little bit harder when you're that big. So you get caught with them big shots, and you get a little tired. You get put on your knee or on your back. Am I getting up? I don't know, man. So you see these big guys getting up and fighting. There's respect to them. You got to, both of them.
This what I said. What y'all think? This what I said. I said even in the arbitration, if he gets granted the fight throughout the months, I'm like, even if they grant Deontay Wilder this fight, I was saying that he should pass on the fight, even if he was granted. I said he came from surgery, new trainer, and we all know that it takes like 2, 3, 4 training camps so you can have that type of chemistry with your new trainer.
Fury?
No,
Wilder. He has surgery.
What surgery did he have?
I think the bicep surgery. I think so.
Okay.
I think it was bicep surgery. He had the surgery, new trainer, came off a loss, came off a dent. You know, I'm just going by what they say. Came off the dent. And I think that if you listen to the interviews, he have yet to have he overcame that loss. You know. So that's the thing I question. He came off a loss, new trainer, surgery, layoff. I don't think it's a smart move in my opinion, but a fighter is a fighter. But I don't think if I was a manager, I don't think it'd be a smart move for Deontay Wilder to get back in the ring to the dude that outboxed him in the first fight and then demolished him in the second fight. And if he's in there and he's gonna have somebody in his corner that's not willing to stop the fight, that's gonna go out there, that is gonna let him go out there in the shield, I just don't think he's ready right now. In my opinion.
Well, you don't think who's ready?
Wilder. Even if they grab the trilogy, I don't think he's ready.
I feel the same way. You know, look, I got a lot of love for my man Malik Scott. I think that Malik Scott is a good dude, and I think that he actually has the potential to be a really good teacher of the sport. I've been watching him on Instagram teaching. I mean, I know there's a transition from being a professional fighter into being a coach. I know there's a transition phase there where you have to learn how to be patient. And a lot of times fighters who train other fighters try to get them to do shit right away because they're used to doing it. And they don't learn, they don't know that patience game yet that it takes to be a trainer. But I do have confidence in him. But at the same time, I just feel like Eddie and what you said is, I feel like Wilder needs a bounce back fight against a, B-level guy. Somebody who's gonna push him, you know what I mean? But somebody that he can win against. I don't know who that would be, honestly. And I always feel like that after a guy loses. You know what I mean? I always feel like unless a guy was in a close fight like a Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez, where you're exchanging and you just happen to get caught with one shot. But I feel like when you get dominated, I feel like you should always come back and do one, possibly two tune-up fights before you step back into that high level of boxing. That's my opinion. And I think that Deontay Wilder's kind of in that position. And honestly, I don't really know if Deontay Wilder really wants to fight like he says he does. I think that Eddie had a point earlier when he said he wants that step-aside bread. And, why not? Deserve it.
And then on the flip side, somebody could be like, yo, but Tyson Fury got a new trainer and look what he did to Deontay Wilder, So, it could. I think just the accumulation of all that, I think is. I don't think he should fight Tyson Fury. But hey, if you want to get his get back, go after it.
My man Anthony Willis said the boxing world needs massive unification. How about Wilder facing Uysk for mandatory at the undisputed? What do y'all feel about that?
I mean, I can't. I'm not mad at that. I mean,
Uysk in that position? I don't even know. Is Uysk in that position?
He's in the WBO.
Is he? Oh, okay.
In the WBO mandatory position, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to pay him step aside money or so. The WBO did something so he won't have to.
Who wins that fight? Yo, who wins that fight? That's an interesting fight. That's a very interesting fight. I mean, Uysk is a solid competitor.
Yeah.
He's proven that he could fight, but at the same time, I don't know if he can handle a guy. I feel like he was having a rough fight in his last fight. Who did he fight? Chisora. And it was kind of showing the difference between that cruiserweight heavyweight separation. Even though he won, you kind of seen now. Is he able to get past a guy like Wilder?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
You think of it, it's like I feel like he'll probably be outboxing Wilder. Just like everyone else.
So too, I think he could possibly win a decision.
But
I can see him getting knocked the hell out.
Exactly.
I can see everybody getting knocked the hell out of Wilder.
Like your head in the right place at the wrong time. It's like, that's it, bro. This is how it works. That's how he fights. He has I don't like to knock him down. I ain't trying to knock him down. Like, he's trying to improve, and I want to see him get better, but he just doesn't have that game. Like, it's like he's just started boxing a little while ago. I'm not being rude. It's the truth. And I'm pretty sure he's like, I don't get in there and everybody knows I'm looking for the knockout. And that's just how he fights. So at this point, with all of the experience Uysk has, as international experience, as good as he was, even though Deontay Wilder had it too, I just don't see there's any other way that Deontay could win. But then again, you never know. Shit, I don't know. He could surprise the hell out of me and do some good things in there boxing wise, and put Uysk on the end of his jab, and I don't know, land a big right hand. I don't know, but
Aaron Thomas says he needs to honor the contract. What's your thoughts?
Can I say that I've been hearing that all day for months? You should honor your contract. You should honor your contract. How many contract there is for a fighter that's effed up? How many?
What do you mean effed up?
How many contracts? In the sport of boxing that you'd be like, damn, that's right? Millions, thousands, right? Probably all right. So a fan will keep it consistent and be like, yo, you should honor the contract. Hey, yo, you should honor the contract with Mickey Bay that they actually took 80% of his pay. Yeah, he should honor that contract and fight, right?
How about that, Ant?
You know what I'm saying? They should people need to keep it consistent. People need to keep consistent. Wait, look at right now. Boots Ennis just got off that lawsuit and settled. right? Oh, he should honor his contract and get, you know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. This is just selective. It's selective. You
Yes.
don't know what's in a contract. We don't know what's in a contract. Every contract has a separate. Every boxer has their separate situation. People never seen a boxing contract in their life, but they want to say honor the contract.
Caesar,
Come on, guys.
G, first off, they have contractually agreed to the third fight, which is why they had an arbitration. Second, Wilder lost fight in his career. Why wouldn't he want that fight? Go ahead, Moonshine. Ripping him.
I'm saying that, look, the trilogy, this is the first time he lost. So I think any undefeated champion should be granted a rematch. Any undefeated champion. But if you're speaking as a fan, we got an undisputed heavyweight championship on right here in our face. This is the most, the biggest crown of all sports. When you was the heavyweight champion of the world, you was the king of the world back then. You was the king of the world. You know what I'm saying? So people now wanted to see the undisputed and trying to justify the undisputed. We're not trying to justify that Wilder shouldn't get a rematch. We're trying to justify that the undisputed is right in front of our faces. We missed it with Wilder and Anthony Joshua. They ain't come through fruition. Now we got it in our face once again. How many undisputed heavyweight championship has people seen in their lives? And now people want to justify it? Hell no. I want to see the undisputed. But I understand. Yeah, but I understand that he could get his get back. Not every rematch got to be immediate.
Yeah. Why doesn't he just let whatever happens? You know what I mean? With the fight, see who wins, and then fight him then. Like, take the step aside bread, man. Just wait on let one of them eliminate the guy out and then jump in after. Like, why not? I mean, I wouldn't care one way or the other, man. Just let me get my opportunity and pay me. I don't care.
Put it this way. This upcoming Saturday, what are we watching? We watching Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor, undisputed 140. But why? Because Jack Catterall stepped aside, so we could get this undisputed. If Jack Catterall would have never stepped aside, he would have fought Jose Ramirez for the WBO strap, and we would have been like, "Oh, come on!"
And now you gotta wait again. Who knows how long for the undisputed title to actually take place? And it's the same thing here. It's like, yo, go ahead, step aside, let this happen, let there be an undisputed champ. And if you feel like you can beat him, go take it.
Yeah.
You the mandatory, you the next guy, take it.
Yo, Moonshine, this is another one I want you to tackle because I know your relationship with Teofimo. And let me know your thoughts on this. I know you're gonna give it to him straight with this one.
He said, I know this is off topic. Why the F people have a hard time when comparing Teofimo Lopez status to Devin? T.O. Cleary got it out the mud while Devin and Bill was sending emails. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, look, we all saw it. We all saw what happened, man. Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko. He was WBC. Yeah, he got elevated as franchise. But at the end of the day, you ain't win it. You ain't earn it the way that you're going to be respected for having it. He never left the lightweight division. And if the WBC said that this is their supreme title. Now, if the WBC never would have said that this franchise is not their supreme title, then all right. But the WBC is the one that's saying this is the supreme title in my organization. This is the undisputed. And it is what it is. You know, the rules change. Whether we like it or not, the Super WBA got elevated
who's Devin Haney fighting this weekend again?
Next weekend, Jorge Linares.
Oh, that's right. He's fighting for it. That's a good fight for Devin. That's a good fight for Devin.
The problem with the situation is he's going to be fighting Jorge Linares May 29th. Cool. But then 2 weeks later, they're going to be promoting Teofimo Lopez Cambosa's undisputed. There goes how they watered down their own belt. You know, it's 4.2 million people saw what Teofimo Lopez did to Lomachenko, beat Lomachenko. So, I mean, we don't believe you. We need more people. You know how that go.
Right. What's your thoughts on that fight right there, though?
Which one?
With Linares and Devin Haney. How do you see that going?
I got Devin Haney 116-112 decision.
He got the points already in his.
I got 116-112 decision. I think Devin Haney he's very defensive. I think he's rangy. He's smart. He know how to use his footwork and range and very disciplined on the jab.
I like Devin a lot. I think Devin got a lot of potential, man. He reminds me of Floyd Mayweather, you know what I mean, in a lot of ways. A young, pretty boy Floyd. He moved with his footwork and how he moved. I think he obviously isn't Floyd Mayweather, but he's definitely got, you could see the influence and his style from Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? You could see that he was influenced, that he was around those guys. Good boxer. Fury wins that fight all day, man. I'm getting mixed reactions, man. A lot of people think that, you know, Fury is going to dominate, but I'm still getting a lot of people who really believe that Wilder's got a real chance. You know what I mean? I don't want to get completely off topic over here. What was your thoughts on Chris Arreola and my man who fought 2 weeks ago? What were your thoughts? Did you see that, Eddie?
I saw. I couldn't believe.
Yo,
I couldn't believe it, bro. And he was 225.
He got 9 lives, that dude, man. That dude really.
And he really was in there. Like, he wasn't like I swore he was going to get destroyed, like just beat unmercifully, like just all over the place. But he was actually in the, I don't want to say he was losing, but his presence was felt. He was catching Andy Ruiz, man, hurting him, like really hurting him. I was like, damn. Like, I'm sitting there like thinking about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was hitting Ruiz. And he dropped Ruiz once, but he ain't hurt him that much and that many times in different times in the fight. I'm like, damn. I'm like, it was 2.25. 2.25? Arreola? Like, that's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I respect him for that. I got to give it to him. He got his shape. He did what he was supposed to. He got in there and actually tried to win, like really put effort in. I give him credit for that one. Even though he lost, and I feel he probably lost going away, but I feel like he did a pretty good job and showed like, hey man, I'm 40 or whatever, but I'm still in here.
Right. Mm-hmm. And where does my man go from there after that victory?
Ruiz?
Yeah. And where does he go from there, man?
I feel like he's
how about him and Deontay Wilder?
That's what I was gonna say. That would be a very interesting fight. But once I'm seeing him getting hurt by them shots from Chris Arreola.
Yo, 2 fights ago, you would have said, yo, that he would have knocked Wilder right out, right? 2 fights ago.
Not so much that he would knock Wilder right out, but I would have given him a good chance to get him out of there. I would have given him a good chance to get him out. It's just like, you can't be in the way of that right hand. I don't care what you're doing, what you're thinking, how good you are, how tough you are. You can't just be in the way of that right hand. You saw it happen to Ortiz, man. It's like he ain't never seen him really buzzed or dropped or anything like that before he got in there with Wilder, and then boom. He got in there with him, got knocked out twice. That's just how it goes. And I'm saying the same thing with Ruiz. He got all them, he throw the combinations, he got the hands, he can box, he can do all that stuff. But you in the front of that right hand one time, at the wrong moment, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that happen to him with Arreola made me realize how much more likely that can possibly be if he was to fight Deontay Wilder. So that just shows you how Deontay Wilder's in every fight, no matter who he fights.
I was just reading the comment on the screen. I agree with that.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do right now is, because I usually try to cap these for about an hour. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, my man right here shouting me out, man. Big shout out to Ultra Tech Boxing. I'm gonna put the link in here. If you ain't scared, get in here, lay your opinion. I bring you in here, and you can chop it up with Eddie, my man Moonshine, and myself. Okay, and let me know what you guys are thinking, man. It's been a really, 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 really dope couple weeks for boxing.
I think months, bro. I think since October.
It's been like, yo, like, yeah, it's just like, it seems like it just keeps on going. It keeps growing. People are getting in the mix, man. So I'm really excited, man. I'm excited about it all. I'm excited about the ridiculousness with Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. I love it. I love entertainment. I love the real authentic boxing. For those of you guys who want to come at me because I like the Mayweather Logan Paul thing, I understand the differences, all right? But it's all good, man. We need the attention. Boxing needs the attention. We need boxing to be the #1 sport. You know what I mean? And everything is gonna help right now. So. This is just dope, man. I'm really excited, man. Somebody said, we don't care about Tyson and Joshua. Wow, Robert.
That's a lot. To be honest, I question them as a boxing fan if you don't want to see undisputed heavyweight. I don't even I got to question. Yeah, I got to question your you as a boxing fan if you do not want to see the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. If you want to see anything other than that, I got a question. Now, if you could be a Deontay Wilder fan, I know people that just fans of one boxer, and this is the only reason they watch boxing. But if you're a boxing fan, nah, undisputed heavyweight.
What you think about this one, man? Loma versus Nakatani, man. That's an interesting one. Like, how do you see that, man? And what's your thoughts on Lomachenko right now after that Teofimo loss? Like, is he still the top of the food chain, or did that loss take?
He's number 2.
You still got him confidently dominating and being up there, or do you think that maybe he lost a little pep, a little confidence after that fight?
Nah, I think he just got out game plan. Maybe his game plan wasn't it. I think that he probably saw a 23-year-old, thought he was green, and thought he wasn't disciplined, thought he was gonna come right at him. And nah, I think that, you know what I'm saying, he caught him. I think the game plan. I think it was a game plan, and Teofimo Lopez just out game planned Lomachenko.
In that fight, I think he started a little late. I think he still could have. I think
a little late.
Yeah, a little late. I mean,
it's half late.
They still be in the fight, though.
Even to the night of the fight, y'all, I'm not gonna forget what I said. I called it a draw.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
But watching it again, a couple of those early rounds, I have to flip flop and give them to Teofimo. So I really believe Teofimo won the fight watching it a second time. But the night of, it felt like a draw, being unbiased. Because I'm unbiased as it comes when it comes to this boxing stuff, man. I'm as unbiased as it is. I stopped being biased when Felix Trinidad lost to Bernard Hopkins. See, Felix Trinidad, I used to root for him just because he was Puerto Rican.
Listen.
I ignored everything. I was like, I don't give a damn about skill. He's Puerto Rican.
My dad had me.
When Bernard whooped his ass,
dog. My dad
Winky Right whooped his ass. I said, whoa, I can't go with my heart no more. I got to go with data.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
When you see a one-dimensional fighter, get in the ring with a guy that got a multitude of different things to use. It proves, like when I watched Trinidad, my dad loved Trinidad, and of course I love the fighters that my dad loved at the time, and I always was a Trinidad fan anyway. I just liked it. The big punch, the left hook, and all that. But when I'm sitting there, he's getting there with Bernard. I'm like, he gonna knock Bernard out. And I remember there was this guy by the name of Brian Noel that was a huge Hopkins fan, right? And he used to always say, and we was always sitting there back and forth. I'm like, wait till Trinidad, wait till the fight over. We're gonna be laughing at you. Man, he was looking at us all. I was like, damn, he beat the shit out Trinidad. I was like, whoa, I didn't see it coming. But you look at Bernard, he has so many dimensions. He was bigger, he was better, he could box, he could fight, he could do whatever.
Looking back on it now, I say, how did I not see that?
Exactly.
It's because I wasn't a real boxing person yet.
Yeah,
you know. My heart. Yo, we got Ultra Tech Boxing here, my man. Let's see what he's talking about. Talk to us, baby.
What are you saying, Coach? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's good?
Yeah, what's good, brother? What's good? Yeah, I don't know if I've missed the Wilder versus Fury talk, but I just wanted to say I think it's
man, listen, you gotta keep up, baby. Come on.
I think this is a 50-50, you know? I really do think it's still a 50-50. I can see Eddie Chambers' eyeballs lighting up there, but let me say, I think it's a 50-50. Obviously, Fury goes into the fight as the absolute overwhelming favorite to win, given what happened last time. The one thing I would say is that I think a lot of people, well, mainly in Britain, but I think a few people are sleeping on Wilder. I think that pad work, you can never look at pad work videos because obviously pads don't hit back, right? And they're never really an indicator of how a fight's going to go. But some of the adjustments that we're seeing from Wilder, in some of these recent videos are interesting. He looks to be investing more in double jabbing. He looks to be feinting more before he throws his shots. One of my biggest criticisms about Deontay Wilder, particularly in some of his recent fights, is he's not active enough with the lead hand. He's not active enough with the jab. And there was a point that Paulie Malignaggi raised before Wilder got beat by Fury. And he said, what is Wilder actually doing when he's not knocking people down? He's not active enough. He's not active enough with the lead hand. He spends a lot of his time sort of prodding away, loading up on that big right hand, looking for that big one shot. Now, if he's going to come into Fury 2, right? And if he's going to come into Tyson Fury 2 and start feinting behind the shots, right? And looking to set up the shots rather than just looking for that big right hand, then I think he's got a genuine chance because I do think that Tyson does make some mistakes that have been overlooked, particularly on the ropes, which we'll talk about another time. But I do think Tyson does make mistakes. I thought Wilder in the first fight actually landed a series of right hands, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, they didn't have enough effect. But I think the fight is liver than what people would say. And I'll just say the Wilder feinting could be the key. If he starts setting up the right hand behind feints and jams to the body and setting those shots up, it could be a different fight.
Go ahead, Eddie.
I mean, no, I mean, I like what you're saying. And yeah, you know, that definitely can be a different situation. However, we do know, and this is what I said earlier, when you're in a pressure situation, what are you going to do? You're going to revert back to what you do.
100%.
And that's the only thing. Like, I see what you're saying, and it's really, really difficult in one camp. Even though he's spent a little bit of time, he hasn't fought in a while, but it's very difficult in one camp to all of a sudden be a different guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get the feints and I get the whole idea of the mystique of the right hand and when it's coming, and that still can be something. But remember, when Wilder gets in there with Tyson, those memories of what happened in that second fight are going to come back. He's going to realize, especially once he starts missing shots and not understand and missing the range and seeing that he's there and he's not there, and then the jab slapping him upside the head sometimes when he's not prepared for it. Those things are going to happen, and then it's going to go back to home run time again. Home run time. I got to find that right hand. And when he goes back to the corner and he's looking maybe Malik in the eyes, and he's like, what do I do? And it's hard to come up with an answer for a guy that has that many dimensions, man. It really, really is.
And
so,
also, I was gonna say, people also got to figure out, not figure out, but I got to understand that Tyson Fury's in his prime right now. He's not an old Tyson Fury. He's in his prime. 31 years old? That's prime. And Deontay Wilder's 35. Does he have the
Deontay Wilder's 35?
Yeah. Does he have?
Oh, I had no idea, yo.
So does he have the skill set to really like adjust? That's why I think he needs more than just one fight. It's not that I don't think that he could knock out anybody. He just needs to adjust to this guy that has his number, outboxing him and outslugging him. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Go, Coach.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, back to your thoughts on the feint. I think the idea of feinting is definitely a good idea. I think that Malik Scott is trying his best to give him some extra tools, but it's going to take a lot more than those feints to trick a guy like Tyson Fury, who's been doing this for such a long time. He's been dominating guys, and really that little feint that I seen him doing before he shot the right hand, that's like baby food. No disrespect. That's like baby food. Like that's something that he's never going to get off if Tyson Fury sees that that's what they're working on. So, honestly, man, all Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, has against a guy like Tyson Fury is a one punch knockout. And I'm not hating on Wilder by any means. I'm just keeping it 100, man. I don't know if there's anything that any trainer, you could put, Freddie Roach and Roger Mayweather and Eddie Chambers and myself in the corner behind Wilder. And I just think at this point, you've been doing something for so long. And that's why guys who get a lot of knockouts, it's very hard for me to judge them because they never fully get tested because they're knocking everybody out. So they never have to dig deep and really find out who they really are because they're constantly just getting guys out of there, and they don't have to work on their craft. You see Deontay Wilder for so many fights, even while losing, still wins by knockout. It automatically makes him not work on his craft, and he's waited way too long. 35 years old, I'm just finding this out right now. I thought he was younger than that, and you haven't worked on your craft yet. Chances are not much is going to change at this point. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. You know what I mean?
Aside from the contract, the rematch clause, I even think Andy Ruiz got a better, the trilogy. I think he got a better argument for his trilogy with Anthony Joshua.
Why?
Well, it's funny you mentioned it. Oh, sorry. No, carry on. Sorry.
I was going to say, why do you say that?
I mean, he stopped him the first fight, and then in the second fight, he just got outboxed, but it wasn't really like, I think that he deserved his trilogy just as much. I think that trilogy makes more sense than the Wilder trilogy. I mean, aside from the contract clause.
It's funny people mention Andy Ruiz because a lot of people in that fight said that Anthony Joshua wouldn't be able to make adjustments. Obviously, he's a much more well-rounded boxer than Deontay Wilder by far. But a lot of people said the same thing about Anthony Joshua, that he couldn't box on the back foot, that he wouldn't be able to make the adjustments necessary, that he could only box on the front foot. And he came into that fight and he showed a whole different style of boxing. Now, at 35, obviously, we're not going to see a whole different style of boxing from Deontay Wilder. I think he was caught out by the plan for Tyson Fury because he expected Tyson Fury to go on the back foot, and Fury actually moved into the right hand and started slipping from the outside, and he circled into the power. Obviously, that's the new influence of Fury's new trainer, Sugar Hill. But I do think, and I was saying closing before I go, if you just look at that in that fight, particularly in the first 2 rounds, you see that Wilder does actually land clean on Fury several times. I think that if he can, like I said, in this third fight, I think he now knows what the game plan is going to be. Fury's going to look to pick up where he left in the second fight. He's going to circle into the power, look to slip outside, look to counter. I will say with Fury, his bad habit that he has, Eddie, I'm sure you know, I do feel sometimes Fury, he leans back, chin up in the air, particularly against that right hand. If you go and look at footage of the second fight, you'll see that he has a nasty habit of when the shot comes. You know, sometimes when taller fighters try to gauge distance, right? And what they do is they put their lead hand out to try and get that separation. They pull that lead hand out to try and get the distance. And several times in that fight, Tyson Fury was clipped with right hands because as he was trying to, adjust his feet and move backwards against Wilder, he would just leave his lead hand out to try and adjust the distance. Wilder would go right hand over the top and clipped him. Now, I feel like what you said is true. There's no mystique on Wilder's hand at the minute at all. He's a guy who's walking around. He's not active with the jab. He's not doubling it. And he's loading up on big right hands. I just feel that he only needs one shot. He only needs one shot to do it. And I just feel like even the slightest mistake in the second fight could swing it his way. But I would agree Fury's the overwhelming favorite. I'm going to get out of here and let you guys handle your business.
Ultra, man, thank you so much for your input, man. I appreciate you hopping on, my brother.
Peace, my brother. Peace.
All right. Now we're going to bring in my other man right here, my man Rolo. Rolo, what it do?
Hey, how you doing, Coach Anthony? It's a pleasure, man. I watch you all the time, watch all your videos. And shouts out to Eddie, too. You a bad boy, too, man.
Appreciate you, man.
But, hey, I rep that bomb squad, man. Say, I take nothing away from Fury. He's a hell of a boxer. But with all that controversy, man, say, if you great, you ain't got to do all that. Just go out there and handle your business. You know what I mean?
So what are you talking about? You talking about the gloves?
Yeah, Coach. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's talk about the gloves, man. So what's y'all thoughts about the gloves, man? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna go right now. Look, now that this is enough, we're gonna talk some more.
Okay, Coach. Did you see what everybody else seen with the glove extended off the hand?
I saw the video after. I didn't see nothing.
Eddie, that's your man. That's your man, Eddie. Come on.
I'll say this. I was in camp. I was in camp with him for a long time.
Beating the hell out of you with that cheating glove, Eddie, and you ain't even stop him. That's crazy.
You know what's funny?
Say, Coach. Say, I don't think you're ready for Eddie, man. Eddie a bad boy, man. I watched him on your videos with you, Coach. Say, yeah, y'all know what y'all doing, man. Much respect, man.
Appreciate it, man. But let me say this. I'm gonna say this with Tyson though. I've seen him do stuff like that, and it looks crazy. It looks questionable. I mean, I don't know about the glove thing. I know it looked a little wild, but the benefit from it, what was it? Is what
Eddie would be the perfect co-defendant. If y'all ever get jammed up with Eddie, he is not going to snitch. He ain't going to tell.
I don't know anything.
That's my man. That's my man right there, man.
Yo, listen. Code D, Eddie. We gonna go do some stuff.
I have not. I'm gonna be honest with you. What benefit does that have? Does that glove being flinging out? What is that really doing? I know people were saying, well,
it reach.
Yeah, but it won't hurt. It won't hurt.
No, but when the judge is looking at it, it's bound. They said that's right.
It's landing. I get it, but it's like, does it really? Like, and it's funny because that was the first fight, wasn't it? That was the first fight they were showing. So it's like he still got a draw. When I felt like he literally only won the 2 rounds that he knocked him down in.
Yeah.
So like, did it really do anything? Like, I don't think it really got him what he needed to get. He didn't drop Wilder. Right. He didn't do anything like that. It really benefited him from using that. So I mean, maybe it opened up some shots. Now, if it was in the second fight, I mean, I don't know if it was or not, but if it was in the second fight where he got the knockout, then they'd be like, yeah, you know what? That he used that, maybe that kind of opened up for one of those crazy right hands he landed or whatever. But I just didn't see the benefit for him. You know what I mean? Like maybe it was in the strategy. You might be right. But at the end of the day,
they were saying that he was hitting with the bare knuckles. It wasn't the reach. It was that the knuckles was hitting him with no padding.
Right, with the pad. Okay. I'm thinking
there's a lot of benefit there.
That was in the first fight though, right?
That was with the padding?
It was on the second fight.
Second fight.
I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say I really don't. I can't comment on it. I'm just looking at the fight and how it went. He was hitting him with, I mean, the shot. I don't know.
All right, Coach. I got a quick question for you, Coach. In a situation like that, if you were in Wilder's corner and you seen how everything was going, what would you have? What advice would you have gave Wilder to maybe kind of like change the outcome, or like would you have noticed it, or like
I don't what, the glove?
Yeah,
I highly doubt I would have noticed the glove.
Right.
I think that's a very difficult thing to notice. But to change the outcome of the fight, I would have told Wilder, bite down on your mouthpiece and you better fucking go to work. That would have been the only advice I could have gave him. I wouldn't have been like, hey, man, jab, slip over here, set up the right. I would have said, nigga, bite down on your fucking mouthpiece and you better fight, man. Let's go to work, man. This guy whooping your ass. That's all you can tell a guy in that kind of a situation. And honestly, that's probably the best advice you can give a guy like Wilder, because when he swings that right hand, he's always got a chance. And, you know, that's all you really could do. When you're outskilled, this has been going on since the beginning of time. When you got a guy who's better skilled than you, you better rough him up. And the messed up part that was happening was it was going the other way around. It was the better skilled guy roughing up the lesser skilled guy.
He's 280 pounds.
Right.
He's 280 pounds.
Yeah, it was really difficult for Wilder because not only couldn't he outbox him, he couldn't out-rough him up. So what do you got left?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why he lost. Keep it 100. I don't think Fury cheated because at this day and age, it's very difficult to slip that past the commission at this point. It's very difficult for believe he cheated, but it did look funny on the video. I can't lie. It did look funny. So I don't know what to think about that, man, you know? But yo, Rolo, thank you so much, brother.
Oh, okay. Hey, what y'all think about David Benavidez and Jamel Charlo?
Ooh, that's a good. I like that fight actually. I do actually like that fight.
Come on, Eddie. Come on. Who you got, Eddie? Who you got in it?
Honestly, it's hard to go against them Charlos, man. And I'm not the biggest fan, but it's hard to go against them. And every single time even with my man Tony Harrison, when he was in there, one of them was fighting with him. Can't even figure out which one. I think it was Jamel. It was just like he was winning the boxing match, but they just
he was
winning the boxing match, but it's like, and he got sometimes you get a little too confident, and it's like then boom, one of them big shots come out of nowhere. Same thing with Julian J-Rock. He was in there doing well with him. I'm saying he was winning, but he was doing well, and then all of a sudden that right uppercut came, boom, and that's just how it works. So with Benavidez, it's like he's a talented dude. They're really good fighters, but it's hard to go against those guys.
Yo, really, you don't want no smoke with blue blood, you heard? I don't know who blue blood is, but whoever it is, you don't want no smoke.
I don't want no smoke either.
You don't want no smoke, apparently. You don't want no smoke. So, Rolo,
hey, my line is always open.
I appreciate you chiming in. You heard?
All right.
So much.
All right, y'all have a wonderful night, man. Good checking in with y'all.
Thank you. Listen, guys, don't be scared to chime in. You see, we talk regular. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it. You know what I mean? When you guys come on here and you share your opinions, you know what I mean? It's just dope.
They don't care about Wilder, bro. I'm a Wilder, but they don't care, man.
Coach,
what you would have done? What you would have thrown in the towel? What you would have done, Coach? Tell the truth.
What,
you would have thrown in the towel, son. Like Mark Breland.
I would have definitely marked Breland then. There was no point for it to continue. I mean, look, I'm a little bit disappointed with his reaction to Mark Green.
Hey, everybody in the stands, trilogy. Everybody gonna be like this, like an NBA playoff game. Everybody like this in a playoff game, waving the towel.
Yeah, let's switch the subject right quick. My man Reyes said, do you think Ryan Garcia's been stalling because he feels that he isn't ready for Devin Haney or Tank? He literally could have been fighting Devin on the 29th for the email championship of the world. The email championship of the world. I don't know.
They don't respect that he got the WBC, so they call him the email champion. That's what it is.
Yo, I didn't even know that. Yo, I'm learning tonight. There's so much shit I don't know what's going on.
That is funny.
Nah, look, if it's Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney knows each other. They fought 7 times in the amateur, so ain't nobody scared of nobody really. Dude is probably going through something. I don't know, but saying that. Man, I don't see no 135 scared of another 135. Heavyweight is different because you could come out 220 and the other guy like 280. But a 135 scared of another 135 or 147 scared of another 147. Nah, I don't think so.
I mean,
People need to stop comparing their balls and wills to these fighters. That's what it is, man. This is what they do.
Yeah, I mean, look, even in the heavyweight division, it was like me, 205, 208 soaking wet. Fighting these dudes, they're 240 and 250. Like, I didn't really care who I fought. It was just about whoever was up next. Whoever had to go, whoever's backyard had to go in and fight again. It's at the end of the day, you just got to do what you got to do. So when you look at these guys, I mean, I kind of agree in a sense. Like, why be afraid? Just go in there and fight. You know what I mean? If there's an opportunity for you to make some money, like what's the worst? You're gonna lose, but you're gonna get paid for it. You put yourself in position. You're gonna be recognized.
And people got to understand, it's not like, you saying, Coach Ant, fight Ed right now. No, you're preparing 8 weeks for this guy. It's like you're prepared to go inside the ring with this guy. It's not like, I don't know. Sometimes people just talk.
What?
Hey, yo, put it this way, Coach. See, I was in the corner, right, in Miami a couple of weeks ago.
You worked
low amateur fight. Yeah.
You worked the
Come
corner?
on, Coach. Son, come on, man. Come on, Coach.
You're working corners.
Come on, Coach. Man, I'll step my game up. But put it this way, so the commission, the way they was checking the gloves, they stood with that glove for 45 minutes checking the glove. And this is low level. This is my amateur. No, this is professional. This was the first professional fight. Bad Promotions in Miami. This is the low, and we're still waiting on damn, they checking that glove inside out, so imagine in a big fight like that. You take your wraps off, here's the wraps, here's the glove.
Yeah. Listen, I've been in world championship corners many times, and every time they're pretty thorough with the inspection. And there's no way that was gonna slip past. I seen a video that I wish I could remember who posted it, where he actually demonstrated and showed that the way the punch was landing made it look flimsy like that. You know what I'm saying? So
he did that in camp all the time. He used to do that shit all the time. He would slap.
Yeah. So I mean, it could have been just the way it looked on camera. We're gonna get my man right here with the super chat. Everybody, thank you so much. By the way, Donald Lyons, I appreciate you. Win, lose, or draw, I'm riding with my brother Bomb Squad. Why not? Hey. As you can see, Eddie rides Tyson Fury no matter what. So you know what I'm saying?
I'm going for, but I go for Wilder. But I also know, man, this is
you going for Wilder?
I go for Wilder, but I don't. But not on. I can't analyze him winning the fight though. But I go for him. I don't think it's smart.
Yeah, so it's win, but you don't think he can.
It's not smart. I like Keith Thurman. I like Keith Thurman, but I don't think he should fight no Errol Spence right now.
Relevant Wilder is. This is a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua thing, and we keep talking about Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
that tells you right there.
That's the roadblock.
The people love him. The people love him.
Yeah, people love him, and people love him.
People love somebody who knocks people out.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to. And they love him. You know what I'm saying? Look. Wilder's costume was too heavy. Bomb Squad. Yeah. H Money boxing was good, baby. What's going on? H Money showing love to Punch Drunk Boxing. You better show love to Eddie while you at it. You know what I mean? Yo, come on, squad.
I think both fights are still gonna have a lot of eyeballs in boxing, even if they get the trilogy again. But I just think that this is the biggest fight, the undisputed, with Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. It can't get no bigger than heavyweight undisputed. Just can't get any bigger.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, yo, that's what it is, man. I usually cap these at an hour. We went a little bit over, man. I just want to say thank you to everybody tuned in. Don't forget to check out the courses, man. CA Boxing 50. You get 50% off everything on the website, man. Go to www.coachanthonyboxing.com. I want to say thank you to my co-host, Eddie Chambers, and my guest host, Mr. Moonshine. This guy got all the... Listen.
AKA El Sazón, AKA El Adobo, AKA El Borracho.
Make sure y'all follow Mr. Moonshine. How can they follow you on YouTube? Because you're going to be way more into this update and what's going on with the in and outs than I am. Like I said, man, you know, I pay attention to some of this stuff, but he's paying attention to everything. So how can they find you?
Let me put my link, Punch Wrong Boxing, on the YouTube channel. Let me just put the link up right quick.
Yeah, do that. Do that real quick. Make sure y'all follow Punch Wrong, because he's the guy giving us the behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Letting us know. Me and Eddie, we're so focused on how to throw a jab, how to rip a hook to the body, how to pick around, go southpaw. Like we're looking at that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be helping fighters as well. So y'all gotta know the business. Y'all gotta know what the hell is going on too.
That's a fact. Now we're paying attention. Guys, this is going to be up after we log off, man. So please like, comment, share, comment in the regular YouTube section, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Thanks, man.
You already know. Boxing.
Peace.